So in my cultural sensitivity test, I'll share my results. I got 7 out of 10, which I was actually very surprised about. That being said, I will say that in answering some of the questions, there was very few that I was really sure on, and the other ones it was pretty much left up to chance. So I would say 7 out of 10, but really kind of wasn't me being 70% knowledgeable. Some of that was unexpected and just kind of up to chance again. So in regards to my own knowledge around culture and its impact on communication, this is something that has impacted me kind of on a daily basis in the course of my job. And more so now, in my role now, I'm actually doing part-time admissions to a treatment center. And the treatment center is a center that their program is based on Aboriginal culture and traditions and customs and that sort of thing. That being said, it's not necessarily that everybody goes to the treatment center is Aboriginal. I would actually say that most of them are not. But I still have to explain the Aboriginal culture and what's to be expected when people are going to treatment, so they're prepared beforehand. And it's I've only been in the position for about a month, but it's very interesting. I've been in a place before where I worked in a small community, and that small community was surrounded by about 6 different reserves. And many times I was kind of referred to as, you're the white middle class counselor. And, I wouldn't understand. So there's been kind of a lot of that in my communication where trying to overcome that obstacle to actually build rapport has been a challenge, and in some ways it's also got easier. Now I find trying to explain to people just kind of around the role of the Aboriginal culture within their recovery is not something that I myself am overly familiar with, because honestly I've never been through a treatment program before, so I don't really know the best ways sometimes to explain that. So learning more about the culture is something that's very important to me, just to be able to give a clearer picture for clients that are wanting to go to treatment about what to expect. For example, I always say in going to treatment you're going to learn these things, but it's not necessarily that people are going to try and convert you, and more so to try and understand how these things can relate to your recovery in your own way. So, there are some kind of ways that I've been able to work kind of within the culture and communicate expectations and that sort of thing, but it's still an ongoing challenge, and I'm always kind of worried about offending people, because sometimes even within the tests that I took on cultural sensitivity, I didn't even know kind of the right terms for people, what we call certain groups. So, I'm always kind of, are these terms going to offend anybody? Are these the right terms? The right way that I should be explaining things, or how can this be taken in a way that's potentially negative? So for me, I find that it's a constant kind of learning challenge, because there are so many different cultures out there. And this is only one that I'm dealing with, but there's many that I get within the course of a day, and I don't necessarily know how that impacts necessarily their treatment plan. For example, I work with clients that I particularly find challenging when they live with their family until they get married, and within kind of the course of action, how we often I don't want to say prescribe a treatment plan, but collaborate on. It's very different, because I'm not used to having that challenge of the family is so central, when they're 23 or 24. We do have, family programs and family support, but not necessarily in the way that that culture needs the support. So I think that not only does it impact the way that they see the problem, but also for potential solutions moving forward, it can be challenging. So I think that cultural, can't say that word, is a bit of an ongoing challenge, but also an opportunity to continue to learn and understand better, to work in groups, because now that I'm reading all these articles on groups and everything, I can really see how we frame things is very different, and to learn better how other members of the group see things as well.